10. So we have a couple of things on our agenda, so we're going to try and keep the meeting moving pretty quickly. Who's going to be up? You want one from us to be the first speaker?
He's waiting on something.
You're waiting on someone?
You want to speak about what you're doing? Okay, come on now.
You want to wait? You want to wait? Okay, we'll move on.
Dr. Eleanor Ray is our first guest speaker. There's 3 minutes. And before Dr. Eleanor, there she is.
Where do you want me?
You're going to come up here.
She's talking about right here.
Right here.
You want the microphone?
Address the board.
Hi, I'm here to talk about the issue of sea barriers, and we are concerned about the kind of damage that might be done. I invite you, if you are at all able to come on April 17th, Wednesday, from 7 to 9 at Hofstra College. The meeting will be conducted by the Army Corps of Engineers, and that's what they're talking about. They've had many, many meetings, and this may be their last round, and our last chance to give input if we have something that we want to say. I would like to just mention to them, on Hutchinson River Restoration Project, we've been working on Hutch issues for about 11 or 12 years. And one of your people, I'm sure you know, Inga Otto. Inga. Yes. And she has been, since our founding, the treasurer, the most important job, or one of the most
Talk
important.
about the
Sorry.
topic, please.
What?
Talk about the topic, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, I will. And I just want to, yes. And also our secretary, who has been with us from the beginning and is a resident of Sydney Island, also Jeff Ullman, is here. The first thing that I guess came to my mind when I learned about this is, why is the Army Corps of Engineers involved in our rivers? Why isn't it the Coast Guard or something else? So I have done a lot of research on the Army Corps of Engineers, which was founded by George Washington on June 16, 1775. They've been with us ever since. They've done some wonderful things. They have 37,000 employees, both military and civilian now, and they are under the Department of Defense in the U.S. government. The sea barriers have been proposed as a result of Superstorm Sandy. And what do we do about storms like this, which I think we can pretty much count on getting. And the barriers and the area that is, am I up?
It's about, go ahead.
Okay,
Give me another couple of seconds.
Okay, the barriers that they are proposing are for the New York, New Jersey harbor and the estuaries. We are considered part of the estuaries. The Hutchinson River flows by the Thomas Hell Wildlife Sanctuary, which is the second largest in the city of New York. I think our concern is, if sea barriers are constructed, will it severely impact all of life in the river? We're talking about a huge structure, possibly 1.7 miles, quarters, and supposedly will be open and closed. Open to let ships go by, closed if the water becomes so high. But we are concerned if you impact the river, it is brackish. It flows from Westchester, so fresh water. It flows from the ocean, hopefully, which is salt water. And this is what all of life has looked on, a brackish river.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Lou Rocco.
I thought
seats again.
I don't know where that is.
Sneaky on the side. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lou Rocco of Westchester Square Civic. I'm the president of the organization and trying to improve our community. Been working very diligently, trying to get it together. Recently, we had a movie filmed in the neighborhood, and about 40 cars were removed. Seems crazy? Our parking improved by having cars taken away. We have the Westchester Square Pier is always yelling, we need more parking, parking, parking. And, more centralized. And it seems funny that if you do hard work and see what the community is really about, you can improve it. We have some organizations that come in and they say, we need this, we need that, and nothing gets done. Working with our leader here, Cruz, we had removed a lot of derelict vehicles, about 28 of them, got really involved. We had another 10 illegal, so you figure 38 and 10, if my math is right, is 48. Everybody's yelling for more parking for an expansion. We need to see where cars don't belong. We need to get this precinct really working. We need to get community people who are yelling because they have, their spot is getting invaded. And what they want is a personal spot. So we need to group together, find out what parking has to be cleaned up. I passed today on Seabury Avenue, which is St. Peter's Church, which they came in front of the board. They're looking to build one of these, I would call it a shelter or low income or something over the where the graves are. And back again with the community board, they never took interest in the church. So as a good neighbor, our community board reached out to the sanitation and on Seabury Avenue took a ton of garbage away, which opened up another 10 spots. So like I said, again, if you work, and if they're shooting at me, I'm ducking. But what I'm saying is working together with the community board and finding out the people who are yelling and have a personal a grievance that they need parking. I have another woman, she says the buses are bothering her on Overing Street. She can't get out of her driveway. Sure, because you rented 10 cars and you're inconveniencing her business. So you got to take this as an overall. We also have garages that are using storage, running businesses, candy and furniture and all of this. You want to open up this parking and work together with a community board. Find out what's going there. Don't be an aggressive, revengeful, I'm going to hurt you. Be someone that goes and say, listen, we have a parking problem here and we need to address it. And we'll all wind up finding parking. When I see, that may be my time up. When I see, let me just finish on this. When I see a woman come home late at night, she's a school teacher, teaches in a Greek church there, and she has to park 5 blocks away. It's not fair. It's not fair for somebody to walk. So my plight is try to work together. Let's get these parking problems resolved. We fight a hospital. We fight everything. The answer is there. We're not looking for it. Work together. That's all I'm asking for. Thank you.
Kathy Seebeck?
Do I have to use that?
Yes, you do.
But Kathy, don't you come over here and just put your face on everybody?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to be on the camera. No,
No, I didn't say it right here.
No, it's all right.
That was-
My name's Kathy Seebeck. I live on City Island. I just wanted to address the community board. We had the police sector C come to our civic. We addressed our concerns, and our concerns in the community are always more police presence, more traffic plans, traffic control for our community. I had suggested maybe a police substation, and City Island is one of the only destinations in this area, Orchard Beach, City Island. And just in the future, if the community board hears of anything or to support our need for more police on City Island, the more we get, it would give more to other areas. So I just wanted to know if our community asked for it, for you to support us in that. Thank you.
just to follow up on that, each and every community or neighborhood in our community board is asking for the same thing, more police. You know, it's, you know, you get into a bit of a fender bender or something, you're waiting around 5 hours, you know, people just get fed up and, you know, exchange information and go, but it just happens to be there's some sort of formula they use, and we don't fall in the criteria of getting more police, but for 20-something years that I know, we've been asking for more. But I got the president of the precinct council here who wants to put in his 2 cents, so.
Yeah, our new captain actually just announced at the last precinct council meeting that we had lost 5 or 6 officers through attrition that haven't been replaced yet. So we really have to get on to our city councilman and make sure he knows that, and that we press him to get those additional officers back. So we did lose some that haven't been replaced, so it's time to really make a lot of noise about it. Call the councilman, let him know, because this is really where the officers are going to come from, pressure from the city council. Thank you.
I want to stand there, if that's all right. I'll take advantage of that spot. I don't want to put my back. Thank you. Good evening, folks. My name is Cimatelli, Giulio Cimatelli. I love coming over this bridge, see the water, it just does something. It does something for you. Hopefully one day I move to City Island, your neighbors. But I want to discuss business improvement districts. And this is more to the board than itself. I testified at City Hall just the other day on the Blondale Commons. It was my 7th meeting that I spoke about Blondale Commons at Westchester Square, affordable housing project, which obviously this board, 10 and 11 voted against, and I'm very happy for all the board members. But I want to talk about the hearing. I was there and I realized there was myself, Mr. Lou Rocco, we had Doherty from here. There were 4, possibly 5 people against it. But the Business Improvement District, which are financed through funding with a budget of possibly $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, had possibly about 10 people there, if not more. Everyone on the staff that are being paid were there. It's nice to go to a meeting when you're getting paid. It makes it easier. But my point is, it's not that I have a problem with them testifying. I have a problem that the business improvement districts are actually taking over community boards, taking over community organization, the influence, the stock. They're becoming so influential. And we voted for the one in Troggs Neck, the one in Westchester Square, and I'm talking about specifically Westchester Square because it seems to be a hub there. And they're creating these bids all over. Right now it's going to be, you're going to be facing Casa Hill bid that's going to be presented eventually soon. So my problem is that they're getting so influential. They're not community-oriented organizations. They're business organizations. And that's fine, we need them. But it diminishes the community organizations. It diminishes the impact. Those city council people at their hearing, we're looking at the 10 people from the bid. All had a special interest. Not us residential. So these business improvement districts are very dangerous. They nullify the community board. They stop. Remember, interesting enough, there was 1-page letter that the board disapproved. That's all it says. Community board 10 disapproves. That's not efficient when you have 10 members from the community board, from the bid actually, standing in front of the city council people and speaking. So it has an impact. And unfortunately, I don't have funding. We don't have funding. I mean, we've been volunteers for years. And so I hope that we are cautious for any future business improvement districts, especially with the Casa Hill. And we need to also review Troggs Neck and the Westchester Square one. Because Troggs Neck is not going to be, we're not going to be talking about Troggs Neck homeowners, we're going to be talking about the Troggs Neck Business Improvement District. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about Westchester Square organizations. We talk about community organizations. We're talking about Westchester Square bid. And that's the problem. So I'm wrapping up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I hope this board, please, don't, and I don't mean this negative, don't rubber stamp these bids that are coming up and are going to be in front of you. Be wary of them. Thank you. We're losing our voice. Thank you.
Arthur Beards.
Hello everybody, my name is Arthur Aviles. I'm the Artistic Director of BAD, the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance. We've been in the Bronx for 20 years and in the Westchester Square section of the Bronx for 5 years now. This is my first time at a community board meeting and I hope to come to many more. Just wanted to let everybody know that we are a 501c3 organization and we are at the service of our community and we would love creative people to come to our space and to speak about the amazing issues that we have in our area and globally. So we have 4 festivals a year, the Badass Woman Festival, the Boogie Down Dance Festival, Out Like That, and the Black Team X Performance Series, film series. So please come on by. It's a beautiful Gothic revivalist building with a graveyard, 19th century graveyard surrounding it, and we would love to see you there. So thank you for this opportunity.
Where are you?
We are in the Westchester Square section of the Bronx, 2474 Westchester Avenue.
Foster Hall at St. Peter's Church?
Yes, and now it's called the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance. Thank you. Yeah, we were in Hunts Point for 14 years, and now we're here in this space, and we're happy to be here. Thank you.
Claire Hughes.
Hi, everybody. Very happy to be here. My name's Claire Hughes. I'm from Montefiore, Westchester Square. And, well, we're very proud to work for Montefiore. I'm sure you've heard of the impending crisis that is going to take place with Montefiore, Mount Sinai, Columbia Presbyterian, and St. Luke's Roosevelt. We are fighting for, in our contract, safe staffing enforceable ratios. We need these to guarantee quality care for all patients. We need enough nurses to do the job with minimum nurse and caregiver inpatient ratios. We want the hospitals to have community accountability in the form of a community outreach committee that a community stakeholders can and their representatives can take tours of the hospital at any time. You might hear propaganda that, oh, it'll cost more money, like California, who passed a state law on enforceable ratios. That is not true. In fact, it lowers readmission rates because nurses do the jobs that they're supposed to do. They can educate and they have time. So we would ask you to support Community Board 7 has sent a resolution to Dr. Sayfair to support the nurses, and we ask Community Board 10 to do the same. Also very important is that if we don't get, we want to call the end of hallway patients. We don't think hallway patients is a method. We have Westchester Square sitting there empty on some floors. We want it open, at least, a floor, especially during flu season. So Montefiore has a lot of space, and we want it utilized. We don't think patients get infection in the hallway, and we want an end to it. Thank you.
You don't have to stand up.
Hi everybody, it's Bob Carmody. Those who don't know me, I'm broker owner of City Island Realty 1. Yes, we changed the name. Everyone knows how to say it. I won't even try to say the last name, the old name. I'm also a board member at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm here today, I'm working on getting a traffic light right here on the corner. And the main reason is because my mom wants one, okay? So we're getting one, okay? So anybody got a problem with that, they gotta talk to my mom, 89-year-old mom. I have, Matt's been kind enough, I got some petitions there. If we could pass them around, I have a pen here, maybe you could just sign the petition, we'll gather at the end of the meeting. That's pretty much it. If you read the petition, it's self-explanatory. Councilman Mark Dronai has been kind enough to help support it. We've been turned down by the DOT about 6 times, 7 times already over the last 10, 15 years. And we just want some type of traffic safety, not just for our seniors, but our customers, the residents, visitors, anybody who crosses the street. It is the busiest intersection on City Island. We have 6 restaurants at the end. We have Pilot Cove, Consolidated Yachts, Pickwick Terrace, the Yacht Club, and we call it the Pilot Street Raceway. It's ridiculous. So we really want everybody, want the community board and the residents. We support Frogs Neck also. They have the similar issue. Unfortunately, someone actually died and someone's been critically injured because of traffic issues, whether it's speeding or whatever the case may be. The point of the traffic light is literally, I'm not joking, to stop the people from coming over the Horton Street Hill downward and going 50, 60 miles plus an hour with the, what's it, they call it rice rockets? Okay, things like that. I have a couple seconds left. I'm not sure. Farah Rubin is here. Did you want us to add anything to it? Anything new since the last time we talked?
Nothing new.
Okay.
We submitted to DOT.
Okay.
We're waiting to have to do a survey.
Okay, so again, if everybody can sign the petition, I'll try to get, as much information back to right in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Bobita.
Just going to switch hats here for a minute. Okay, I'm just here to announce that the 45th Precinct Community Council is having our annual breakfast. It's going to be held May 8th, 8:30 in the morning. This year we're honoring Joe Boyko, who passed away. We're going to be honoring him posthumously. From our own community board, Andrew Shariko is going to be one of our honorees. Mohammed Ali from the Zariga community. Luis Yaco from here in City Island. And Joyce Wilson from City Island. And there may be 1 or 2 more to come. The tickets are $20. There are sponsorships available as well. So anybody who's interested, I have tickets tonight. Please come and see me after the meeting. But last year we had about 400 people there. I feel so thrilled in the fact that when we have this breakfast, every neighborhood in this community is represented. It's one of the nicest feelings when we all sit down together and break bread. So please come out to the breakfast. It's a great event, and I'll see you all there. Thank you.
Susan Strazera, I hope I didn't mispronounce your name.
Hello, I'm Susan Strazera. A lot of you people know me. I've lived here all my life, and now I want to talk about this proposed restaurant, bar, sports bar, whatever they want to open up on City Island Avenue. Oh, sorry. I live around the corner on Ditmar Street. I'm a widow, I live alone, and I'd like to live in peace for the rest of my life. And now they're proposing to open some kind of a bar that will be open till 3 o'clock in the morning. They have no facilities for parking. I don't understand how they can even propose this thing. Where are they going to park? We have the Harlem Yacht Club around the corner. We just don't have any room. We have Seafood City there, and we just want to live in peace. That's all there is to it. We are overwhelmed with bars and restaurants on this island. I've lived here all my life. I grew up here. This proposed bar is behind the house that I grew up in. There are people living there, they have children. My neighbor across the street has MS. We just want to live in peace and quiet, and we really do not welcome having another bar and restaurant. Thank you for listening to me.
Good. William Crowley? You wanna go over there?
Hi. Do you know what City Island needs? Another restaurant slash bar slash club that models its business on selling alcohol to seasonal off-island clientele, said no one ever. Last week I met and spoke to Melanie. I appreciate that she came to talk to us and begin a dialogue, and I believe it is possible for two good people to have strong disagreements. Her starting point was as follows. We are going to open a sports bar and restaurant, and we will have an open kitchen and bar until 3 a.m. with DJ music. She claimed that there was not much we could do, as she has the right to do so. If this is true, how did it get to this point with no input from the local community? Who has allowed Melanie to continue to sink money into the construction of this establishment while operating on a business model of being an atom bomb to a sleeping neighborhood with young children? I wish Melanie and her family prosperity in pursuing their American dream. I just wish they had done it with a quiet restaurant that closed its kitchen at 11:30 and played soft dining music like all the other restaurants on City Island. I don't think we as a community are opposed to converting some of the abandoned storefronts into bustling businesses. We just desire that these businesses be a proper fit to the surrounding area. And maybe I'm being naive, but it seems obvious to me that to serve food and drink at 3 a.m. is to build a business model that magnetizes intoxicated people to this location in order for them to eat and drink more, similar to Tosca and Throg's Neck, and that worked out great for the neighbors. I bet they will never be able to sell their houses. Finding out about the project behind my yard has been an emotional roller coaster that is quickly turning into a nightmare for my family. At first I was told it was going to be a Jamaican restaurant. I thought, that doesn't sound bad, I like me some curry goat. Ackee and saltfish. Next, I learned it's actually going to be a sports bar. Then I found out about the 3 a.m. liquor license and the DJ music. Then I discovered that next year, the party will literally be in my backyard, as they will expand outdoors until 3 a.m. There is not enough soundproofing in the world to make this any more palatable for us. The cartoon sinking sound you hear when you drive past Miniford Avenue is the sound of our property values falling. I've been doing a lot of research myself, and I expect to take a 20 to 25% hit. This is my life's accumulated wealth. It's part of my retirement plan. A larger ring of houses will experience enough of a rise in nuisance that they too will fall. The amount of stress this has put on my family has no measure, and these things are just getting started. If this most egregious of intrusions into our neighborhood is allowed to occur, then what's the point of having a community board in the first place? Just to be a rubber stamp? If the community says no, what does the community board say?
Very good, Phil.
Candy?
Hi, I'm a resident of Miniford Avenue. I live close by where this establishment is opening, and I'm very concerned about the hours. The hours are, until 3 o'clock. You're going to hear this from probably everybody that gets up here. We do live in a very residential block. It's quiet after a certain hour. You can walk your dog. You don't have to worry. There's parking. There are a lot of concerns. Parking is one of them. Noise. Yes, people leaving intoxicated. It doesn't seem like it's going to be something that is going to be desired by the community. So that's about all I want to say. Thank you.
Colleen?
Hi, Good evening. My name's Colleen Pecoraro. I live across the street on the corner of Ditmar Street and City Island Avenue. Susan lives straight from me. It's the same echo or reiterating that Bill said so well. It's a residential area, and the noise and the fighting that we already have, like when people are in the gas station or coming from other places at 2 and 3 a.m., wake you up. That I get up and I'll say, should I call the police? Are they fooling around? Are they fighting? Or are they going to hurt each other? It's just, it's a residential area and a bar that's open till 3, or an outside venue as well with music. It's an invasion. It's the quality of life for us, and that's what I'm really worried about. Just all of us living there and then trying to park. It's an avenue, so I don't know where people park. They're going to have to go down side streets, go by people's homes. I don't know, with families and babies and kids, and I'm just concerned living there. And it's a beautiful, peaceful place, and that's what I have to say.
Thank you. So, just a little update. These liquor licenses are governed by the state, not the city. And they're allowed to be open to 4 a.m. And, you know, as a community board, we try to suggest closing earlier. You know, they don't have to follow what we ask or anything else. Now, as far as noise complaint, this came up several years ago with another popular place down the other side. If there's loud noise, there's a thing called ambient noise, which is your average noise for that time of day. And after 10 o'clock, you're only allowed to go up a thing called 30 decibels. If that is broken, you call up 311. Do not ask for the police department. DEP, they're the ones that come out, they're the ones that give the heavy-duty fines, not the fines that the police department gives. They give out heavy-duty fines, and a couple of those, you're going to see them quiet down. And another couple of things is, I'm on the board 12 years. I was the housing zoning chairman. I had many conversations with members of your civic group. And one of the ideas was to put a cap, a moratorium on the amount of liquor licenses on City Island. Because we seen like this was happening, the same thing up in Woodlawn, McLean Avenue, the amount of bars coming in and traffic and everything. So this was suggested several times, but it hasn't gone anywhere. We also have a thing called the Special District for City Island, which requires a parking spot for every new bar, but there's no way to reinforce it. So, there's no way to enforce this. It's something in writing, but there's no way to enforce it. So imagine, this is something that happened. Someone wrote this up to get this in the special district, but there's no way that the city can enforce giving tickets if you don't have a spot right outside your front door. They can't reserve a spot for a particular bar or anything. So these are things that we were looking at. We were looking at with some of the members from the Civic for a couple of years, but it's something maybe needs to be looked at again, putting a cap on the amount of liquor licenses. This is a small bar. We just approved last month a big catering hall on the island. So we see where it's going, but we have to get ideas from you guys, from the civics and everything else, and see what we can do as a group. Tom, you wanted to speak on behalf of the civic?
On Monday evening, myself and 3 other officers of the City Island Civic Association met with the owners, and figuring that this is a state issue and the bar is most likely going to happen, we figured it was better to establish a dialogue and a working relationship. And the meeting was very cordial, friendly. The owners are very amenable to requests. We expressed 2 particular issues that most people have. Of course, it's related to noise. is if there's any outside congregating. And they promised to prohibit any outside congregating. They're even planning to have security on the weekends to prevent that. We discussed the music. Now, there is an allowance in the license for a DJ or live music, but they have no plans to do that. That's if there's a special event, they have that option. So it's not going to be like every weekend there's this music. And they also said there was not going to be any outside area. And I know I've heard from other people that they said they're thinking in a year of maybe trying that. Before they can do that, they have to come back before this board to have the liquor license amended. So right now, they can't do that. So the bottom line is they are willing. We've opened the lines of communication, and if there are ever any issues and any complaints, talk to us at the Civic. They're willing to listen. They're going to do like the Crab Shanty did, put signage reminding people it's a residential area to be quiet when they're leaving and so forth. So we were pretty comfortable with the fact that they're going to work with us, and you know, given what we have to work with, we were pretty happy with that.
Christian Amato, Senator Biaggi's office. No games tonight. Hey everybody, my name is Christian Amato. I am your representative from Senator Biaggi's office. I represent both CB10 and CB11. I have a couple of announcements today that I had to write down. First of all, yesterday was the first day of spring, so happy spring everybody. I know we're all looking forward to some better weather. A little update, New York ranks 30th out of 50 states in its maternal death rate. I'm not sure if you knew that, but I was shocked to find that out. This is an issue compounded with major racial and ethnic disparities, with black women nearly 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy. So the senator yesterday co-sponsored Senator Gustavo Rivera's bill, which passed yesterday afternoon. And this will allow us to develop the Maternal Mortality Review Board, which will review and develop actionable recommendations for the future prevention of deaths. Also, the senator passed a few weeks ago her first bill, which brings free women's health products to charter schools, making a difficult time in the development of a young woman much easier. The senators co-sponsored a lot of legislation, and if you'd like to learn more about it, I'm happy to stay till the end to talk to you more about some of the legislation that's passed earlier this year. I mentioned it the other time I was at this board meeting last month. I want to announce that on April 11th, we will be having a budget forum with the entire Bronx delegation of senators. We believe it'll be at Fordham, but I will confirm this and make sure to message the board to let you all know. But that's April 11th, and it'll probably be at 6 p.m. More details to follow. And finally, we have 2 events at our offices that are great opportunities to meet the senator and bring issues to our team. The first is First Fridays. We have one coming up April 5th. At First Fridays, this is a 2-hour opportunity to just come hang out with us, talk to the senator one-on-one. It's really fun. We had about 30 people come to our first one, and it's a great way for us to listen to your issues, but also for you to meet directly with the senator. The senator is also hosting constituent open office hours, and these are an opportunity for you to meet with her privately about any issue you may want to discuss. There's a link at the bottom where you can sign up, and you can also call our office to schedule your appointment. They are first come, first serve. I'll be here till the end if you have any questions. Thank you. Leon Tolton from our Assemblyman's office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Tolton, and I'm from Assembly Member Michael Benedetto's office. First of all, my apologies for running late. The only news that we have is for anyone who used our free tax preparation service for the seniors, we are getting more tax returns back. So if you dropped off your taxes either at the East Tremont office or at the Co-op City office, you can call either office to just check to see if your envelope number is there. Please keep in mind, if you dropped your taxes off at the East Tremont office, that's where you have to retrieve it. We try to keep the drop sites separate. Also, just to let you know that we are no longer accepting any more new tax forms, because at least for the Co-op City office, we still get people coming in asking about that. So what our office has been doing is we've been referring constituents to other locations. One location is, and I'm blanking on the name, Councilmember Jornay's office. And I just want to just publicly thank his office for helping us, because just real quick story, we had like a senior citizen, sweet old lady, and what happened was that she came after we were done, and she was like, she had like tears coming out her eyes, and I didn't want to just send her away. So luckily, I knew about Councilmember Jornay's office, where they're doing their own tax preparation service. So they were gracious enough to accommodate our constituents. So I just want to just publicly thank Councilmember Jornay's office for helping our constituent. So other than that, no further news. So thank you for your time.
Miriam Tirado, Senator Sepulveda's office.
What is she?
Good evening, everyone. I am Miriam Torrado. I represent Senator Luis Sepulveda. We are located in 900 Royals Place in the South Bronx. Our services included, but are not limited to housing, employment, senior services, apply for programs like DRIVE, Free, CityFed, Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, information about the community events that we have around the neighborhood. And the Senator is sponsoring now the bill of breastfeeding to protect our new moms, to lactate the kids, the newborns, that have a space in their job, private space, not the conference room, not the bathroom, to breastfeed the kids, to avoid any, invasion of privacy or things like that. And another bill that he is co-sponsoring is the bill of the New York City driver's license. The other one, he is co-sponsoring the bill of, actually he sponsored the bill 4211 that's the bill for the lactation, and the other one for put cameras near to the schools to be safe, the kids be safety when they are in the school and around, because around the city, just 7% of the school are protected by cameras, and a lot of issues and accidents are driving around, including accidents involving our children. Anything that you need for us, we are in 900 Royals Place. If you need any information, I'm going to be in the back for you. Thank you.
Farrah, Councilman Mark Jonah's office.
Hi, I'm Farah Rubin from Councilmember Mark Jonah's office. I'm somewhat new, so I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I'm just going to keep it short. We do have tax return prep free. If you make an appointment April 5th, just call our office to schedule it. And we also have been doing constituent office hours, going out to the district, reaching out to people because they can't always make it to our office. We actually did one here yesterday, and we have another one scheduled April 10th at the Northeast Bronx Senior Center. So we have flyers out there. If you need any other information, I have more flyers here. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like a motion to close the public speaking portion. Irene, second. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Very good. At this point, I would like to make a motion to accept the minutes from the February full board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? We will now go on to the Borough President's report. Tom Buchanan's here.
Good evening, everyone. I'll share the full report with the board. I just want to highlight just a couple of quick things. One is that those members who are up for reappointment will be getting their letters from the Borough President probably the mid-portion of April, towards the end of April. So you will stay on until you receive a letter from the Borough President one way or the other. New appointments will be made towards the end of April, early May as well. One of the items that the Borough President mentioned during his State of the Borough address was a camp that the New York State Parks Department, as well as our office and the Governor's office, has put together in honor of Junior Guzman, the young 15-year-old who was a victim of gang violence in the Community Ward 6 area. So they've created a program, a summer program for children between the ages of 9 to 13. It's a sleepaway program up at Harriman State Park. The Governor's office has put in money to rehab the cabins and the pool and the facilities up in that area. The Fresh Air Fund will be running the program. They hope to have about 500 kids in 3 sessions, separated in 3 sessions. The flyer, I know I had sent it over to Matt, but it is on our website as well. There are zip codes that they are focusing on, and it's basically 10450 through 10462, I believe. But if you have any relatives who are in those areas, it is important that we fill those slots for the summer. It's going to be a great program for those children. And then secondly, the Department of Education and the Borough President's Office, the 5 Borough President's Offices, have created what they call an extended use pilot hardship waiver program for use of school facilities. What that means is that each of the 5 Borough Presidents received money from the Department of Education to pay for programming, to pay for opening fees for programs in any public school between now and the end of the fiscal year, the end of June 30th. So if you have a program, if you want to have a meeting, if you want to have a special event, you go, and I will put these flyers on the table in the back. It explains the process. You accept, you go to the Department of Education just as if you're going to get your own permit. You get your own permit, and then it is paid for through our office. You know that it can be expensive to use a school facility. So if, again, between now and the end of the fiscal year, and it is first come, first serve, I don't know the exact amount of money that our office has, but if it's something that you're interested in doing, take one of these flyers, get your application in, get your permit in so that we can pay it for you. I know the athletic fields are also part of it. It's $12 per hour. It's space costs and security costs, so it is something that we would be able to pay for. Now, if we don't use this money, it goes back, and then the Board of Ed will say, well, you didn't use it this year, what makes you think you're going to use it next year? So it is important that we get as many organizations to do events, sports events, any events between now and the end of the school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Right now, we're going to go right to the District Manager's report. Matt Cruz.
Good evening, City Island. Good. A little louder than that. Good evening, City Island. Because you guys are all yelling me back there, so you guys can be more than that. I usually run the DM report with things that are most important first. That will come before the board next month. One is the housing and zoning, 801 Co-op City Boulevard. There is no Co-op City member on housing and zoning, but I love the members of Co-op City to make sure they're there for that. 801 Co-op City Boulevard is a 6-story hospital building proposed by Simone Development. Montefiore, to my knowledge, has not signed any lease to operate the facility, but Simone is still going ahead with the buildings department to build it. It's a 6-story building, 801 Co-op City Boulevard, and they've applied to the City of New York Board of Standards and Appeals to reduce their parking requirement. So it's important we make that meeting on April 9th. Secondly, McDonald's on 3660 East Tremont Avenue We were promised in January, we were promised in September that they would close. As of right now, they're saying July, but the complaints are still flooding in from Phillip Avenue homeowners about the parking issues, the USPS trucks. I'm following up, but as of right now, McDonald's is set to close in July 2019. That's the earliest we can probably see some positive news. Co-op City again, the Metro North hearings, or actually the group events that they're going to comment on, that the board will be involved in, will start sometime this fall. Right now they're finishing up Morris Park and Van Nest, but Co-op City will have its own give and take session, comment session with city planning. Covenant House in Westchester Square, their tenants, 16 to 24, are looking to move in next month in April. I believe the first or second week. Again, Covenant House is a supportive youth transitional housing for young men and women 16 to 24. It's a federal and city-funded program. They look to move in to 1550 St. Peters Avenue next month. With regard to City Island, someone came to me at the City Island Civic meeting for Pell Place. I'm not sure if Ann Livingston is present with us tonight, but Pell Place didn't have a street sign, which I didn't know about. But next month it will be installed, so thank you for letting me know. It's important to have. Again, with City Island, it's the lot just over the bridge. I'm working with with Maria Caruso, who wants her nonprofit to clean it up. DOT is fine with the community support cleaning it up on their own, but they caution they're still in talks finding out whether or not they own the parcel of land. I have no information as far as that, but they're still discussing with their general counsel and their attorney as to whether or not they own part or all of it. Additionally, the MTA stopped by our municipal services meeting last Wednesday to discuss Co-op City bus extensions. That is the first positive news in my tenure about, I'm not sure if you all recall, but for many, many years you guys have been requesting Co-op City bus extensions. So far the MTA has been receptive to that. So we may get something that will extend to Section 5 in hopes of it being used for the Metro North station. So that was a positive development. And I'm going to do this more often. I promised myself this year I would. I want to extend a public applause to one of our staff members, Patrick Caruso. Patrick must have seen maybe dozens of homeowners this property tax season. And he is wiped out, he is tired, he's still meeting them, but he did a wonderful job in saving people hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So I wanted the board to be aware of that. He worked really hard, saving a lot of people a lot of money. So that's very important for us. With regard to one of our liquor license establishments, Cabo on East Tremont and Roosevelt Avenue, I have to contact the SLA, the State Liquor Authority. They have not given us their petitions. It's been about 2 months, so and this is on me, I've been very lax in not collecting them, but I will let SLA know that as part of the board's vote, they were to adhere to the stipulations which was the petitions. And for those in City Island who don't know, and this is with regard to Calientes as well, Community Board 10 has a petition process for those who are opening a new business or restaurant and coming before the Community Board. And it's not for your approval, but you sign it with your understanding that they are coming for a liquor license at some point at Community Board 10. And most often it's the next month. But on that petition, it asks, or actually the petitioner, to contact us when the next meeting is. But for those who don't know, our Economic Development Committee meets every first Tuesday at 7:30 at the board office. That's where we have the liquor licenses. The committee discusses, negotiates. Again, we hit brick walls sometimes with businesses. We can't impose regulations that are not available to us. For the most part, it's a give and take, and we need the public to come because we need their opinions. If something works well that you guys want to continue from a bar or restaurant and want to convey that to a new restaurant, that's helpful to know. And if there are questions or complaints about certain restaurants, you got to let us know as well. And if you have questions about what licenses are up next month, you're always welcome to call the office. We know which ones will be available for April today. So tomorrow I should expect phone calls if people are curious to know what's available next month. So again, with regard to Cabo, I'm contacting the SLA. They did not follow our regulations. They did not submit their petitions in time. I gave them about 2 months. That's on me, but I will let them know tomorrow before they have their SLA hearing that we're not withdrawing our approval of them, but to take into account did not follow our process, which might hinder their ability to get their liquor licenses. Additionally, and I've said this for the third straight meeting, and Susan, this is because of you, you reminded me, the emails. You guys know I can't call every single one of you all the time. There's 40 of you guys. And if I did that, I'd be taking away from the work you guys want me to do in the first place. So I need you guys, when the subject reads important, and every email from now on will have a subject, and if it reads important, I need you to read those. And I need you to understand that I need a comment back. Maybe that you read it, that you had a question about it, you want to talk to me more about it, you want to talk to the chairman or the committee chairs. He's not, he's shaking his head no, but we do this for a living. You talk to me enough, okay. But with that said, check your emails. And committee chairs, this is most important. Make sure every neighborhood is represented in your committee. We want to know that every committee has a neighborhood represented. City Island, Co-op City, Westchester Square. Every committee should have at least one board member from each neighborhood represented. So do your due diligence that when topics come around, if you have me call, if you want their emails, you want to call directly. Matthew, I need someone from this neighborhood to represent us at this committee. We're having a big topic or a big discussion on this tonight or that afternoon. That's important to us. The April meeting is, if I'm not mistaken, on the third Wednesday. That is because the third Thursday, I believe, is Holy Thursday. So we're barred from having a meeting on that night. So it'll be on the third Wednesday. It's for the public as well. At Providence Rest, 3304 Waterbury Avenue. And lastly, I'm going to run off some events that we're having as soon as tomorrow and in May. Darcel Clark is visiting Co-op City tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 at 159 Dreiser Loop. The community center just in front, Nancy. The patio level of 159 Dreiser Loop. Darcel Clark, our Bronx District Attorney. On Saturday, March 23rd, there's an e-waste recycle event at IS 192, which is at Throgs Neck, 650 Hollywood Avenue. That's from 10 to 4 p.m. Again, an e-waste recycle, that's computers, wires, telephones, anything electronic can be disposed at that event at 650 Hollywood Avenue. TVs, computers, laptops. Saturday, March 23rd, 10 to 4, hosted by the Lower East Side Ecology Center. On Tuesday, March 26th, and this is important for us homeowners, from noon to 2 p.m., the Department of Finance will be at the Fort Schuyler House, also in Throgs Neck, 3077 Cross Bronx Expressway, on exemption applications and those who have rent-stabilized apartments and who need help with freezing their rents. But for property owners, property exemptions, the application has been extended, I believe, until this week. So March 26th, be there if you need help. Again, Patrick Caruso did